Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hand-Built Pottery and Sculpture. My name is Kimberlie Wright. I hope you enjoyed class yesterday, our discussion about March, all things about March. We talked about some calendar events, weather, some special stones of March, and colors, that type of thing. So today I said I was going to do a demo that had to deal with March. You're more than welcome to make it. Hopefully you have your materials out. And if not, if you want to go back later and look at this video on YouTube, you are more than welcome to do that as well. So I hope you all are feeling well, and we're going to get started. So the first thing, just to break the ice, today is a beautiful and wonderful day. Every day is such a beautiful day, especially to be alive. Today is Friday, March 12th, 2021. And the holidays or the days for today which are celebrated is Working Moms Day. Working Moms Day. Baked Scallops Day. Baked scallops. Girl Scout Day, Girl Scout Day. Plant a Flower Day, Plant a Flower Day. And last but not least, Alfred Hitchcock Day, Alfred Hitchcock. All right, so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and move this chair and put on my apron to protect my clothing. And the demo, I don't know how long it'll take, but it's a fairly simple project to make. I thought it would be really cool and neat. So let's get set up over here. The first thing I want to do is bring the camera closer to the table so that you all can see. All right. Then I'm going to get my canvas to roll out my clay. And I already have a cup of water and a brush to smooth the piece if need be. And I have my jar of slip. But I'm going to pour the water off, not in my sink, because I don't want to clog my sink. I'm going to pour it in a separate cup so that when I'm finished, I can pour that same water back into my slip jar. All right, so today, of course, I need my Pro Tool or needle tool, fan or feathered textured brush, and I'm going to use a spatula. I'm getting my clay out. And as you can see the size of this clay in my hand, I'm just going to cut it in half with my toggle or my wire cutter. And as you can see, the two pieces of clay, I'm going to use the smaller one because I think that should be enough for what I'm going to roll out. All right, so I'm just going to smash this clay down a little so I don't have to do so much work as it pertains to rolling. And this table shakes quite a bit. So now I'm just going to start rolling my clay out. And I want this clay to be stay a little bit thick. It's gonna be thin, but gonna have enough thickness where that it doesn't break. All right, so I think I'm gonna leave the clay about this thick, and just gonna even it out one more time and add some moisture on both sides. Flipping that over one more time. Okay. So feel free, young people, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves if you need to. Be mindful of background noise because we are recording. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have this cookie cutter. It's just a suggestion for you all to possibly use if you need something to kind of be use as a guide or a pattern. I'm going to use it probably once or twice. However, you can use anything that has like different circles. So what I'm drawing out here is a cloud. Because in March, we have a lot of rain. And so that's what I'm making. It's a beautiful cloud. And I'm going to use the circle of the lid for my slip jar. I think I'm going to use that on this side as well. And I'm going to get something else that's circular, but probably a different size. I'm going to use this candle. So I can freehand some of the cloud if I like as well. And I think this looks pretty good. So right now I'm going to cut this cloud out, cut around the shape, the edges. And I have about, I would call them humps, but you can say a half of a circle. The humps or the half of a circle, how many that I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So without the edges, this is how it looks so far. You can see it's a little bit larger than the palm of my hand. All right. So from here, I said I had 7 humps or half circles. I'm going to reconstitute this clay. And I want to make this cloud a bit 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional, I should say. So what I'm going to do is roll 7 spheres or 7 balls and place them on top of the bubbles, the circles, or the half, the humps, and create a 2-dimensional surface. So I'm just breaking off some pieces of the clay, so to speak, rolling in the palm of my hand. And even though it's like a ball, so to speak, I want to smash them down somewhat to already have them lower to not have to do that much work. So I'm just going to sit that there and place a circle or a ball on each hump as it pertains to the size. Some of the smaller ones, I'm going to put a smaller circle there. The larger ones, they're going to be a larger circle there. So I could do one at a time, but however, I'm just going ahead and do all of them to save time and just kind of like mass produce. I think that one should go right there. Then I need a smaller one. I have like a small, medium, and larger one left. Smashing that out, placing it on the smaller one. And then I have a medium and a large. So I made one piece, my last two pieces larger than the other. It's not fitting completely on the circle. It's because I'm going to work the clay outward to give it like a raised, cloudy look. And then well, I'm missing one, so I have two more to go. That one's gonna go there. And then I have to make one more. Since the last one is actually closing up the space, I'm going to roll that one last and go ahead and apply the pieces where they need to be. So remember, sometimes you can use slip depending on how you are sticking stuff together. However, you can create slip as well just by using water, and the clay is already there. So I'm scratching and adding that there. And all I'm gonna do is start to work that around till it looks nice and neat. And once I finish this whole process, before I smooth it out, I'll show you how it looks. So I don't care that I'm actually making so much marks as it pertains to the feathered texture tool, because I don't mind doing the work to smooth it out. And so I'm just gonna do another one. I'll do 3 and show you how those look and come back and do the other 3. So I have to smash this out from the center to get it down as far as I really want it. I'm going all the way down to the edge of the hump or the cloud. Continuing to work around. And I'm going on to my third one. So scratching up under that, adding some moisture, bringing it down from the center all the way around. Is anybody out there creating the piece while I'm working? If not, it's okay. It's no problem. Sometimes it's better to watch first and then make your own. So depends on how much you can absorb and take in if you are able to work at the same time and watch what I'm doing. Okay, so I've done 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and smooth those 3 out and go back and finish the other 3. What I want to do first is kind of smash it smooth with my spatula to get all the air out, to just make sure it's gonna be level from using this flat surface. So wherever the clay is, high or low, that's where you should know where to push it to make it smooth as it pertains to what you're trying to create. So I'm going on to the next one before I actually smooth that one all the way with my fingers. I'm gonna smooth them all at the same time. Taking some of this excess clay off of the spatula, because if your spatula is not clean, you will not be able to get the piece clean. It'll have whatever design from the clay, it'll be actually in the clay. So to smooth out, you have to keep that spatula clean as well. Smooth spatula, smooth clay. I'm on the third one. All right. Now I'm going to smooth all of that, spray one time, then smooth those pieces with my finger. It's good to do it with your finger as well so that you can feel all the lumps and humps and know where to actually level it out. Doesn't take that long, just got to be patient and just take your time. Add a little pressure if you feel lumps. Don't just rub the clay in one way to the right or to the left. Try to go both ways, right and left, and circular, so that the clay can distribute, moving proportionally, evenly.
I know, Kim, I'm trying to see, but all I see is your hand. I'm hoping.
I'm going to pick it up and show you all.
Okay.
Sorry. So I'm going around the edge to clean up some of the excess clay from where I smooth it out. And also I'm going to get my sponge. I'm dipping that in the water because I usually like to smooth it with the sponge and kind of dry it up, so to speak. If you all have anything to show today, we'll have a time for that, because I know last week we made fascinators and tea party hats. So I'll give you an opportunity to show those. I'm taking these off, the other three, so that I can pick it up so that you'll be able to see. Those are just going to fall off because they have not been attached. So I'm picking the cloth up because I know this part should be stuck there from the moisture. So far, this is how that looks. You see how these look raised and that still looks flat. So I'm making a three-dimensional surface. Once I finish the other three, there's not that much more to do to the project. It's just one other little part. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do the other four, and make the other portion of the piece, and I'll explain really the function of what it is. I usually like to make, sometimes I make art that is just for pure enjoyment as far as like viewing it and looking at it. But I really like to make, as pertains to clay, I like to make functional pieces that you can actually use. All right, so that was the wrong one. That's the small one and the large one. I'm gonna go ahead and add these three pieces. We'll be finished with the cloud. And I think it's a really, like I said before, it's a really neat and cool project. You can use it all year round. Try to press that down evenly within the shape of the circle. Now I'm on the second one. Going from the center, pulling it down. If you go just from the edges, it'll look cone shaped. It'll be high in the center and low on the edges. So you have to pull down from the center all the way around. And you can allow this cloud to be as small or as large as you want it to be. That's entirely solely up to you. And then I'm going to the third cloud. All the way around. I want to press this one down a little bit more because it's high and I'm trying to reach more of the center. So don't forget, young people, you have until April 15th to send your photos for the art slideshow. I cannot accept any pieces after that because we will be compiling and putting the art slideshow together for the Americans Month. My last circle is going to be here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the bottom, sort of on the flat side, possibly. I'm not sure. And so you can see I'm panning this out because to fit in this space, so to speak. All right, adding some moisture under there. I just wanted to lay it there to see how it fits. And it doesn't have to fit perfectly because once I scratch it down with my tool, I'm gonna make the clay go where I want it to go.
Yeah, you're saying clouds, but what is the ultimate purpose of what you're making there? What is that?
I'm gonna explain that in a few minutes. I'm gonna explain that in a few minutes.
But it's no longer like a cloud with the texturing you're putting in there, right? Or is that still a cloud?
Texture is, I'm smoothing this out. I'm just putting the texture there so I can actually combine this clay with the flat piece that I've already done. If you decide to make this project and you want to leave that texture, that's your option. The reason why I haven't told you completely what I'm making is because I'm doing the project step by step, just so you can concentrate on one thing at a time. I'm just kind of beating this with the tool too as well to make sure I'm pressing all of the air out. And so now I'm going to spray these 4 pieces and smooth them out so that we can complete the project. All right. I'm working diligently, fast, so as not to waste any time and get the project done. Smashing or scraping the clay as smooth as I can with this tool, and then I can go back with my fingers, my hands, to finish the rest. Creating the shapes that I want, creases in between this, and pressing down, getting it as smooth as I can with this tool. And I can go back and even smooth more, like I said, with my hand. Don't forget, once again, you got to scrape that excess clay off of the spatula to be able to get your piece smooth. I'm turning it around towards me so that I can work better, so I won't be working across the street. Yeah, I know when we in class and I say, why do you have that thing turned to the top where you painting down here, working across the street? Bring it closer to you, make things easier for you. I'm scraping this off, but I see like a little hole there, so I'm adding a little bit of clay right where I saw indentation. There's nothing wrong with if you sometimes you have to take clay away, sometimes you have to add clay, sometimes you don't want to get rid of your clay at all. So you just have to kind of be able to feel that as you're going. Scraping it all off, going around my edge from pressing it down. I want to get that edge back smooth, and I'm on my last one. Last bubble, last part of the cloud. Scraping it all out. Smoothing it out. All right. So we've done that. What I want to do is spray one more time. and smooth it with my fingers. Go on to the second part so we can finish. Smooth with your fingers as you smooth from the water. As you continue to work, air will dry up some of the moisture as you go along. Just feel the piece as you're feeling maybe your skin. And make sure you don't feel any lumps. All right, going on around. I have to flip this around. Being very careful when I pick it up so as not to break it because it's really moist. Last one. I'm adding some pressure because I saw a lot of lumps in this large piece. I'm just gonna take my brush and water, wiping my hands off. That's why I have paper towel always here, or even a moist cloth will be good for you to work with. Taking my brush and smoothing all that up in between the crevices or creases. All the way around. It's really, really mushy. It's okay because I'm gonna dry all that up with my sponge. Cleaning it up. I want to dry it up some. And you know you always should have a piece of newspaper. I'm working on my canvas right now. However, I do want to transfer this piece to newspaper for when I'm getting ready to dry, when it's ready to dry and just to finish it off. Before I smooth one more time, I'm going to go around the edge with my spatula, making sure my edge is really nice and smooth. All the way around, scraping the clay off as I go. Now, even though you just see me do anything like something like this basic, you know, you can take it to a different level, do your own thing. Maybe this is inspiring you to do something totally different. I'm not sure. I'm dipping my sponge, but really squeezing it all the way out, the clay, so I can smooth once again. I'm going around the edge. All right. So I see some areas that it could be really smoothed out a little bit more. However, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it like so. It's not that bad, and don't be too hard on yourself. It's just the clouds, so maybe clouds have different lumps and folds and shapes in different areas because a cloud is gas, really, even though we compare clouds to so many things like cotton and softness, lightness, that type of thing, which is all, I guess, true, but not the cotton, but it looks like it. All right. So I just have to wet washcloth. This is newspaper. I'm moving my cup so that I do not make a mistake and flip that over. I'm going to pick up the cloud. As you can see it, I'm transferring it to the paper. I'm going to spray that one more time. And we're going to make the last part of the piece. I'm getting piece of clay, probably about the size of the palm of my hand, a little bit larger, just to have enough clay. I am going to add some moisture, since that clay has been sitting out, to reconstitute it. I'm going to roll a coil. And the coil is not going to be the same size from left to right. As you can see, I'm folding that canvas up because when you roll a clay on cloth, it dries it out. Roll a coil, which is a rope-like piece of clay. I'm rolling the coil on one end so as to keep the other end thick. If I'm only rolling one side, that's the only side that's getting skinnier or thinner. I'm going back to roll the thicker side just to make sure it's neat. All right, so the reason why I rolled this coil thinner on one end and thicker on one end is because I want different sizes. What I am creating is a wind chime, and it's going to have raindrops at the bottom. And for me, since I kind of methodically thought about how I wanted it to look, I'm going to, for the symbolism, I'm going to make 7 raindrops to represent the 7 days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 days. Okay, so we're gonna cut right in the middle, the half. I'm going to cut 7 pieces. This is 1, 2, 3. You see I'm going in different parts of it just to get 7 really unique pieces. 4, 5, 6, and I think I'll do a tiny one, 7. All right, so I can just sit all that clay to the side, and I'm gonna respray. Mind your TV, please. So I'm going to go ahead and actually roll a ball. And after you see I have a ball, I'm going to cup one end of the ball into the palm of my hand like this, like so, and just roll that one side, and it will become like a cone or a teardrop or a raindrop, because that's exactly what we're making. So once again, I'm only pressing one side of the ball, which I know you can't see that, but once I show it to you, even though I want that to be a little bit longer as far as the drop, I'm just going to press it out with my hand, so to speak. It's a little bit dry, so I'm adding some moisture and just rolling that in my palm one more time. I see a few little cracks, so that's why I'm smoothing it out. All right, so that's my first teardrop, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm sitting that on a newspaper, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll out the other ones. Rolling the ball first. The reason why it looks like I'm not rolling, because it's sliding in my hand from the moisture. Once again, roll out a ball. And then when you have a ball of clay, One side, you want to hold it in the palms of your hands like so, and just keep sort of rolling it out just at one side until you get a cone-ish shape or a tip, just like so. I'm kind of pinching a little bit with my fingers just to make the shape look all the way how I want it. This is my second raindrop. I wanted to make the raindrops look three-dimensional since my cloud is three-dimensional. I could have clearly rolled out some clay, so like another option right quick. I could have had my cloud flat and I could have rolled out some clay and actually just cut out different raindrops. Like so. I just made that kind of large so you can see it. But I opted to make these things three-dimensional. So we got 5 more to roll out. This little ball is so small, I'm gonna see if I'm able to make it a cone on one side. If not, I have to pinch it in that shape. It's so small, I can't even roll one side in my hand. So I'm pinching this actual cone shape to get my raindrop. And I don't want the tips of my raindrops to be too small or too thin so that I can put the hole in them. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. So one thing I thought that would be neat as it pertains to the color when I am ready to glaze my piece, I was thinking about 7 days. And when I was in, I've applied this song so many times to artwork as I'm working to make sure I'm using all the colors if I'm doing something in a multicolored sense. I need one more, but I think I'm gonna kind of go small since I have a few large ones. I need one more small one. I don't have that many small ones, so I'm pinching that again. It's kind of hard. Maybe once you get the cone, if you put it in your hands, then you can kind of manipulate it like that, which is a little better. But from the beginning, your hands are so large, it's hard to do the small one right off like that. All right. So when I am actually coloring something or glazing something that's multicolored, just to keep a reminder of the colors that I'm using, I've always sang a song to myself that I learned in elementary school. I can barely remember the name of the song, but this is how I formulated what color I'm gonna already glaze the raindrops when it's time to glaze. Since we have in our minds that water is blue, and it may not very well be blue. Some reflections of certain things might cast or make the water blue. Also, we represent rain. and that type of thing with some hints of blue, and water might be clear. I'm not really sure. It might have some kind of streaks of gray. But since I have 7 raindrops, let's put these kind of in some kind of little order. I usually sing this song that goes, red and yellow, and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. So that actually, I think it's called the Rainbow Song. I don't know if you all ever heard that, but that's the completion of the colors, the 7 colors. So what I said I was gonna do, since after it rains, when the sun comes out and reflects, you have a rainbow sometimes, I'm going to paint those 7 colors on one side of the raindrops, and on the other side I'm going to have different shades of blue, like a dark blue, a light blue, just for the rain colors. And when the wind chime turns and moves and clinks together, you'll be able to see the rainbow colors plus the actual water colors. And so I cleaned my hands enough to not get dust all over my camera. However, right now, at this point, what I would do is go ahead and add my holes to the piece. I'm going to smooth it one more time.
That's really cute, Kim. I can see that in my garden this spring.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't hear you.
I said that's really cute. I could see it in my garden this spring.
Okay, thank you, Miss Deborah Bell. That's so nice. Okay. And yeah, that'll be really nice in the garden too. Due to it'll look good in the sunshine, it'll look good in the rain. It's a really nice nature piece. So you're right, that would really look good in your garden.
Yeah, it would.
And so I just smoothed this out one time. Actually, the cloud to the eye, as it pertains to me standing right here, I know you like in a whole different place, but we're on camera. You can't see some of the lumps in the cloud, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm not going to just try to smooth the cloud so perfect. I think I'm just going to leave some of those lumps, and I want to use this sponge just to smooth these tips because I saw a lot of cracks, probably where it's getting thinner and drier. Actually, if you think about it, the portion of putting the 2-dimensional balls on top of it to make it 2-dimensional, and actually smoothing them in with it actually made the piece, I would say, a little bit longer, but all together, this was not a really time-consuming piece. It didn't take that long. I don't know if you can see these cracks on here, but that's why I'm going back and smoothing them out before I actually add the holes to the piece. How many holes do you all think I should add to the entire piece? Sorry, just the cloud. How many holes should I add to the cloud?
I would put 2 up at the top for sure. And then, of course, you know, the 7 for the 7 teardrops at the bottom. At minimum, I say 9. That's what I would.
Such a smart cookie. That's exactly what I was going to put. Of course, some people might put the option of having 1 hole. I would never do that because you don't know how the raindrops weigh out, if it's going to be hanging, you know, not even. But if you put 2 holes in it, like Miss Deborah said, actually it will hold the piece leveled so that it won't hang too far to the right or to the left. And if you opt to put 3 holes at the top, I don't see that it's nothing wrong with that. but I'm just gonna go ahead and add two spaced out evenly at the top, and then the 7 at the bottom. So since this portion here is the part that has the humps more, and this has more of a contoured line, I want this to be the bottom of my cloud, and this is going to be the top. So I do, one sec. I do have hole punchers, but my hole puncher is too wide for a hole for me, being that the piece is not that large. I don't want such a large hole. What I'm going to do is use my Pro tool. I'm going to use my Pro tool to put 2 holes at the top. I think I'm going to put one right here and one right here. So I'm just making an indentation. You might not be able to see that. I can turn this paper around. You can see a little hole right here. And you see that it's not too close to the edge so as to crack the edge when it dries or anything like that. And then I'm going to make 7 holes at the bottom. But how am I going to make these where they're spaced out properly? I think the first thing to do, since you have 7 is an odd number, and what I'm going to do is put 1 hole in the center. That will be really my 7th hole. Then I'm gonna go out and put 2 on the outside edges, so I will know how far I'm already gonna be going out. That's going to be 1. This is my next one, 3. So that's 3. So I have to do 2 more in between each of these. So my eyeball says to put 1 right here and 1 right here. The other side, I'm going to do the same thing, evenly, 1 maybe right here and 1 right here. So once again, this to me is not thick enough to make a hole, but I just wanted to actually make the indentation of the holes from here, and I'm just going to use a small paintbrush to use the back of it to go inside those holes. I'm pressing down and then I'm twisting about 5 or 6, 7 times, something like that, bringing it out, making sure no clay is on it, and going on to the next hole. When this,
well, unless you're going to use like fish wire or something, those are still kind of small, don't you think? They should be bigger because they're going to close up. They get small when you put them in the kiln.
No, really, this is fairly large.
Is it?
And what I'm going to do is, when this is leathered, like you know, this is really moist now. When this is leathered, I'm going to pick it up and turn it around and poke the holes from the back side and clean up. You know, once you press the holes, clay rises up. I'm going to clean that clay around it and just go back and forth through the front and back to make sure that it's open. Sometimes we get so excited that our pieces are finished, we just put 1 hole in, and I see people never go through the back. The back is smaller than the front. You can barely get it in. So you just have to go back and check your work and make sure that your holes are large enough and open. One of the hardest things to get holes perfectly, especially since they shouldn't be that large, is probably jewelry, like earrings and stuff like that. But it can be done. You just have to take your time and clean up. So I'm turning this around, making my 2 holes at the top. And I don't know if you can see the clay that's raised up from me pressing the brush down into them. But however, I'm just gonna demonstrate one time. I don't want to do it too much since the piece is not leathered. But when this piece leathers or dries more, I'm going to take my loop, which you see, you have the curved loop and then you have the square one. I'm gonna take the square loop and actually scrape across this to get that raised clay off of the top. So I did one of them, but since it's so soft, I don't want to dig the clay out. And that's basically that for the cloud. And I have to do the holes in the actual raindrops. But now this is a little tricky because you want to make sure the hole is close to the edge as possible, but not so close that you will bust a hole in between. So I'm gonna place my finger behind it to give some stability. And I'm going right in with the tool all the way through the back side, so to speak. Then I'm gonna go back through the other side and just kind of turn it and press a little bit to open up the hole. So on the larger ones, I definitely can use the brush to make the holes a little larger. But I don't want to go too large once again to make a hole in the piece. I think that's kind of too large, to be honest with you. I'm gonna keep this hole just with the needle tool because the hole is too large with that, using the back of that brush. Yeah, that's like a really large hole. I don't want the holes to be that large in my raindrops. Really, really large. So it's okay for that one, but I'm gonna move on to the next 5 fingers behind there. Be careful not to poke yourself too hard, go slowly. I'm opening it up some. Fixing my paper. As I go, I'm gonna line these pieces back up. 3. And you know, when I actually string the piece, I will have the raindrops, the strings of the raindrops, different levels so that they are all, some of them are up, some down, you know, back and forth, so as to not have them on the same line. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna see how it is putting the hole into the 2 small raindrops.
Kim, did they video record the ones that we had in the multi-purpose room when we hung those that we made some time ago?
The wind chimes.
The wind chimes, yes.
What about them?
Did anyone take a video or pictures of them while
yeah, I think the last art show that we had that was on the video. Remember the one that they put on a video? You don't remember that, Ms. Vicky?
No.
I guess it was Gilbert, the photographer, who made a video of the art show, and I guess he was giving seniors the option to be able to purchase the video. I showed it in class. Y'all don't remember that? Mm-hmm. I brought the TV and the VCR, our TV that we roll around, into the classroom, and we looked at the art show one day.
No.
Who said that, Mr. Van Dyke Howard?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was before you was actually coming to Darnell, I think.
It was your Tuesday class.
No. It was in our pottery class.
Yeah, you recorded the whole show. I remember that one.
No, you remember that, Miss Gwendolyn?
Yeah, cause different classes saw it.
Yes, like Ann King showed it in her class.
Yeah, Miss Queen showed in hers.
Queen showed it in her class.
Mother Park showed it.
Mr. Park showed it. All right. Somebody need to take some Goku code, whatever that stuff called for your memory.
No, never saw it.
All right.
I
So
mean, I was there when they had the chimes, because I was there when I had my the pot. What's that? The ugly jugs. And there I was there when I did that, and there when they did the chimes. You know, and even when I came to art school, I saw that. But I never seen it on the television.
I was there also, but I didn't see that video.
okay, well, actually, I have the video still. What we're gonna do is watch that one day. I'll show it to you all.
Good. Thank you.
Wait, somebody did take pictures and a video of those wind chimes before. So that concludes our project for today, which is a wind chime. And the reason why I told y'all step by step, you know, sometimes I'm gonna tell the projects like right off, because y'all will just probably get off the class and think that you know everything that what we doing and making or whatever. I hope you all enjoyed it. I heard Ms. Deborah Bell said she really loved the piece, and I hope you all found it pleasing to the eye, and maybe something that was really simple that you could make. And one other thing I could do is put a design into the cloud, like go around it with a border if I wanted to, or put like a shine mark on the actual raindrops. But I'm deciding to just leave it smooth, because when I glaze it, you know, glaze turns the pieces to be like glass like, and it's gonna have a shine mark on it anyway. So
Kim, can you just show it to me and tell me what it's called? I'm at the doctor's office and I just tuned in. Can you just show me the piece that you made today and tell me what it's called?
Oh, have mercy. Today,
Say it out loud.
A rainbow mobile or shine.
Today I made a wind chime. It's for the month of March, because we have a lot of rain in March.
Okay.
And this is basically the cloud that I made. I made it 2-dimensional, where each of the puffs are raised on the cloud. It has 7 holes at the bottom for my 7 raindrops, 2 holes at the top where I'm going to hang the piece. Also, the cloud is going, as it pertains to me glazing it, I'm going to glaze each side of, like the side that you see of the raindrops. They're going to be a different shade of blue. 7 different shades of blue. Also, in my mind, those 7 raindrops remind me, or are a symbolize the 7 days of the week. Since these sides are going to be a shade of blue, different shades of blue, I'm going to flip these over and do the other sides, the colors of the rainbow, in my mind, from this song that I used to sing in elementary that keeps you in memory of the songs red, yellow, pink, green, purple, orange, and blue. And those will represent the rainbow from when the sun comes out after the rain.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.
That's very nice. I love that.
Thank you so much.
Kim, it's lovely to see it when it's, I did a heart before, and it with little kisses and hearts and everything hanging down. But it's lovely when the wind is blowing that on my back deck.
Okay. Wind chimes are really nice, and you just have to make them sort of thick enough where that when they clank together, they don't burst or break. And hopefully, the wind chimes that you all made before, I said that you can definitely hang them outside, but if you hung them inside, that can be another piece of something. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say you could enter that in the art show, but really, we already had those in the art show. So.
This thing is so big and it's hanging. I just don't want to keep moving it. Sitting in a corner, and the wind can touch it. I mean, the wind gently sways it and turns it, and it's just pleasing to when you walk on the back deck and see that.
Right. So, Missy Theory, you having a good day?
I am just waiting at the dentist.
Okay. Mr. Van Dyke Howard, I did receive your work, the pieces for the Black History piece that you sent to the email. However, I am going to email you some comments about it. You asking what I think. So, young people, okay, I'm not trying to embarrass you in anything, Mr. Van Dyke, but I just want to say, like, the reason why I'm using you as an example, because I want to say this to everybody else as well. The actual pictures that you sent to me were acceptable and really good. I just think that the one with your mirror could have been better, because you was kind of like at an angle. It looks like it's hanging on the wall, and you was just at an angle a little bit. It looks like you could probably go straighter in front of it to get it more straighter. And I saw, like, since Africa is such a the shape is kind of like obtuse, meaning like it's not even on each side. You have that part that's up and then the tip on the top right there. I see your tip is missing, and on that top side is missing a little bit. So if you were to swing around and come around to the front a little bit, it might be just, even though it's good, it could be great. It could be a little bit more better. And then the other piece that you sent me with the two heads, I would say probably go in a little bit, because for some reason at the bottom there's some brown piece of wood that maybe was on the edge of the counter that got in. But I was thinking, even for that piece, I could probably crop it in a little bit more. But what I wanted to say is, this young man sent me two pictures of two different pieces. What will be ideal is if right when you are snapping those pictures, try to snap 2 or 3 so that I'll have a choice to choose from. You know, like, instead of just the fact that you had 1, maybe try to do 2 pictures and see, so we can see which one is the best. But if you, since you have work to do, and if you don't feel like taking those 2 pieces, the pictures of those pieces again, I'll go ahead and accept those. But if you want to play with it a little bit more and take a couple of more photos, please do so.
Okay.
I do. I have a lot of photos of them. I just chose one, but I have different ones of the continent of Africa and the African faces there. But I hear what you're saying.
Okay, but you really did a wonderful job, and at least you got the pictures in.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you received the pictures, and I did the right thing of sending them to you. I have to come up with a name of my pieces there.
And the mirror piece, you might be able to come up with some name from what the piece says.
Yeah.
They'll play off the message of what it says.
Yeah. Now I have one picture, a couple pictures when you can actually see the glare of the mirror, and I don't know if that would be in this one of the ones I was saying, but you can actually see the mirror itself.
Yeah, I can see the mirror. I can see all that stuff in the background of the mirror too.
Right. So I was trying to hide that. I might have to try to find another way of taking the picture off the wall and placing on something that I can get the whole visual view of it.
It's only like a cabinet and some kind of chair or something like that. It's not like really, I mean, the reflection is fine. It's not nothing really that you have to hide. I think it's fine, but I understand what you're saying. It's some kind of, if it seems like you have to take the mirror down, it's going to cause some type of issue or problem, don't even worry about it. Just go for it,
Yeah. I'll try to get a good picture of it again and send it to you with the name of the pieces that I have for you.
Okay, and don't forget, young people, that classes will be canceled next week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So on Thursday, we will be having pottery. And on Tuesday, I'll be having making something out of nothing, but we will be doing vaccines at the Harriet G. Darnell facility. And for those of you who are interested in taking the COVID vaccine, but have not had an appointment or something like that, you are more than welcome to call the Darnell facility to get that appointment, you know, for yourself, especially today. If you know you want to go next week or something like that, maybe try to call today. And if you're not taking the vaccine, you know, I think everybody has their own choice to do so or not in that matter. And the next time we're going to have a play schedule is on the 22nd of March.
That's the 21st.
That's not, say that again?
I thought you said the 21st.
Well, let me check and see what that Monday is.
The 19th.
19th, yeah.
I thought you said Friday the 19th.
Yeah, 19th, yeah.
And what is that date for, the 19th?
I didn't say that. What I said was I go to the facility on Fridays to upload my videos for YouTube. Our schedule is usually on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. The next play schedule that I will be having is on Monday, the 22nd of March. However, I said, since you all know that I'm going to be up there on the Fridays, like, for example, if you want to come up there on Friday the 19th to drop something off, you're more than welcome to. That means you'll be able to pick it up on the 22nd. But if you only drop your things off on the 22nd, you'll be receiving it the next play schedule. So I was just giving you all the option to say that you could drop something off on the 19th if you wanted to.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
When can we pick up that coloring book?
I'm going to call everybody and let them know when you are able to pick it up, because once again, the coloring book has not even been printed yet. It has not been made. We have all the way up until May. We got a whole nother month. We have up until May to actually start that event, but we're going to make sure that we get you the coloring book and the canvases so that you can, the coloring book especially, so that you can color some of the pages before the event.
Yeah. Question about the COVID-19 shot. Since everybody at this point is almost open to get it, and I'm already hearing admission for people who have the COVID vaccination. Is the county looking at eventually opening back up, and those people who have been vaccinated will be allowed in?
So I would like to say, if you could please stay online, I'm going to go ahead and conclude class today and finish it. My name is Kimberlie Wright. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining Hand-Built Pottery and Sculpture. I hope you enjoyed the cloud and rainbow. I think I don't have to call it rain and rainbow, since the word rain is included in rainbow. I'm going to call it cloud and rainbow wind chime on YouTube if you want to go back and look at it. So I love you all. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you. Sorry.